Hey guys, Arne here. How would you like to know the difference between a massively successful group and one that fails, sucks up all your time, and wastes your money? I'm going to show you in this video some of the characteristics that are really defining in whether or not a group is going to be successful. Some of this comes down to the marketing, some of this comes down to the mindset, some of this comes down to the habits you need to build. And I'm really excited to explore this with you guys so you can set yourself up for as much success as possible. Sound good? So during this video, there's going to be a couple spots. I want you to actually pause the video and then do a little brainstorm. This way you can actually be interactive, be creative. It's not just me telling you what the success looks like. It's you figuring out what success looks like for you. So does that make sense? So I was working with clients a couple of years ago on their groups. And in one of my programs, I asked the support community, I said, hey, I'm really curious, what do you think is some of the defining characteristics of a successful group? And we got some really great answers. I'm going to pull these up actually. So somebody said consistency. Somebody said having offers that are of interest to that group. Somebody said showing up. Somebody said consistently showing up and really helping. Another one is building it like a community and making sure it's active and getting people to be interconnected without the owner. Another thing somebody said is realizing you don't know everything, so letting others share their expertise. Another one is having a singular, clear path designed to make sure everything you're doing is contributing to that path. People said consistency. People said understand that you are really trying to see where your people are at and get them to the next steps. Another one said being okay with not being perfect. We got so many good answers on here. Another one that popped up was being engaging, anticipating your members' needs, delivering, listening, and evolving. And I loved all those characteristics. So I'm curious, this is going to be one of those spots where I ask you to pause the video and do a little brainstorm. What do you think are 5 characteristics needed to have a super successful group? So pause the video, write out those 5, and hit play again in a minute. I'll see you soon. All right, so now that we got those 5 written down, that's an incredible starting spot. This is where you can really start to understand, okay, if these are some of the qualities needed, how can I embody some of those? How can I really, really make sure I stick to that? And this was the real game changer for me. So before I had a successful group, I had 4 groups that totally failed. They sucked up my time, they weren't engaging, they weren't fun, and they weren't making any money. So naturally, if something is happening like that, it just gets tossed aside. You quit it naturally. If you're doing a bunch of energy and time and even money into a group and it's not returning anything back, it's going to suck up your time, it's going to suck up your energy, and it's going to be really disappointing. So how are you going to continue a group like that, you know? So I really wanted to figure out what I could do differently to make this next group actually work. Because I saw all these other people out there having successful groups, having these big launches, having super engaged members and fans and clients. And I was like, what the heck am I doing wrong? You know, what am I doing? What am I not doing? And how can I improve this? And for the 5th group, that's the one that I built up to over 80,000 members. And when I got that group to about 1,000 members, something really clicked with me. I hit that 1,000 member mark and I really realized how powerful that was to have 1,000 people in there. Like if I had 1,000 people at a live event in a room waiting to hear from me, I would be showing up and giving the most value, thinking how I could give them the best experience, make sure that they come back to the next event and make sure that they want to work with me at a higher level too. So I took that attitude of if these 1,000 people were with me in person, how would I show up for them? And I just translated that into online. I thought, okay, how can I make a group that they want to show up to every day? How can I give them an experience that's unforgettable and unique, and they make friends and connections and clients and really, really value being a part of that circle? So that mindset shift completely changed how I viewed the group. Does that make sense? So the big difference there was before I was always looking at it from the lens of what's in it for me. And the switch was how can I create a community that people are going to want to show up to every day and enjoy? So that's the next spot. I want you guys to pause this video and just write out a couple of sentences. Answer that question. How can you build a community that people are going to want to show up to every day and enjoy? So 3 to 5 sentences, write that out, and then come back, press play. We'll keep rolling from there. All right, so now we've done those 2 exercises. You've first written out a few of those characteristics that you think will help you be successful in your group, and you figured out some of those ideas that you have on how you can really deliver that experience for your community. Now, the next thing that you want to do is really look at some of the key skills that need to be developed. So this is where I will tell you what's actually the most important, and we'll have some exercises at the end of this too. So one thing I loved about that post I made to my clients saying, hey, what do you think are the most important characteristics for success with the group? They answered a ton of these really like totally valid things, like I mentioned earlier. But here's the big missing element that nobody said that I really, really wanted somebody to say, and they didn't. So now I get to tell you. The big difference between a failed group and a successful group is the skill level and systems level of their marketing. Because here's the thing, you can have a group that has thousands of members, is super engaged, but if you don't have the right marketing level and systems and skills in place, you're not ever going to make any money from that group. And that's one of the biggest things that I'm teaching my clients, is actually developing the skills and developing the systems, if that makes sense. So I want you to pause again and write out what are some of those skills that you really want to learn when it comes to building and monetizing a community. After that, I'm going to ask you to write out a few of those systems that you want to learn. Hopefully you guys get the difference between skills and systems. So a skill might be something like copywriting, or writing engaging social media posts, or doing live videos, any of those things like that, or consistency. That's a skill, right? And systems is more like, okay, how do we set up email marketing, or what's the process to get somebody from a group member to a client? Brainstorm 3 skills and 3 systems that you really want to learn, and then have that list ready, and we'll be able to help teach you guys some of that stuff in here as well. So write those out and hit pause, write them out, and I will see you in a minute. All right, guys, last but not least, I want you guys to really think of your why behind starting your group, because when times get tough, and they will, you're gonna feel like quitting the group. I can't tell you how many times I felt like quitting my big group, my smaller groups, my different products and businesses. When something happens and everything seems to be coming against me, that thought crosses my mind. I'm not perfect either. I've been doing this for a while, but of course, you get those moments where you're like, is this even the right move for me right now? Like, should I keep putting energy in this? Should I put it somewhere else? And I want you guys to really, really take a step back and think of your why with your group. Why are you building it? What's your selfish why? What do you want to get out of it? Do you want clients? Do you want money? Do you want fame? What is that? And think of your why for the impact that you can have on others. Think of why you want to get this group together, how you're helping change their lives, all of that. So when you have that, you can always reflect back on that why to keep you back on track. Because there's going to be days where you want to quit. There's going to be times when you have a failed campaign, you don't make any money, or somebody's pissed off in your group, and you just had it, you're just done. Think, screw this, I'm going to go back to doing whatever I used to do. And that's your opportunity to lean in, reset with your why, and get back in the game. Because most people quit their groups before they even hit 500 members. They try a little bit, they hit some challenges, they maybe hit a plateau of growth and engagement, and they're like, all right, screw this, I'm out, I'm gonna go do something else. Problem with that attitude is no matter what you do next, you're gonna do the same thing. You're going to start something, you're going to get excited, you're going to get some resources, you're going to make some progress, you're going to hit some challenges, and then you're going to say, screw this, I'm out. And then you're going to go move to the next thing. How are you going to build a business and an audience and a foundation if that's your attitude? That can't be the case. So we battled that by staying rooted in our purpose for ourselves, our businesses, our finance, our life, our family, our purposes for our audiences, for how we're making an impact, how we're connecting with people, how we're growing our network, how we're showing up. And all of that is going to make the biggest difference. All right. So that is where it gets a little more into the mindset of it, of like, I'm doing this for the long game. I'm going to show up. I'm going to help people. I'm going to build this community and make it powerful. And I'm going to fight through things when they get tough. That is the most important element for success with your Facebook group. Not quitting. What do you know? So hope you guys enjoyed this video. There's going to be plenty more of them, so keep an eye out. And I want you guys to leave a comment. Let me know what stood out from this video and these exercises. All right, guys, till next time. See ya.